decided when he stipulated his desire for after his death to be buried in Allah.
It was actually, we were here and we decided to come thinking that it would be a really difficult way for us all, for peace in the world.
Thank you, both of you, for joining me. Thanks so much, Andrea and Julia. Well, let's talk to someone who has met the Pope and who lives and works in Rome. It's lovely to talk to you, Father Mark Cassidy. Just tell me a little bit about what it was like when you met Pope Francis.
So it was a private audience to do with some business for the college that we were looking for his support. So Archbishop Leo Cushley, St Andrews in Edinburgh, and myself, early morning, just the three of us sitting round his desk. A very relaxed encounter, but one where you really saw what the man cared about. He cared about the people who came to him looking for help, for support, but also remarkably, he's a great man for remembering. So 2 months later, I was at a general audience with a group of priests, and he looked and he said, you, how is your move of the college going? So he remembered 2 months later that encounter that we had. And I think that was the mark of the man, and that's what I think attracted so many people to him, this generosity, this real being present to people at the moment that they met him.
Father Mark, you've been here to see the Pope lying in state. What was that like?
It was 3 hours in the queue, but what was remarkable about that was the patience and the good nature of people, and lots of people sharing the very reason why they were there, that they came to express their love for the Holy Father, their gratitude for all that he had achieved in these years as the leader of the Church, and an atmosphere of prayer as we journeyed towards the Basilica itself.
Father Mark, you're rector of the Pontifical Scots College here in Rome. How difficult is it these days to find new priests, and how much of a difference do you think the Pope Francis, made on that?
Sure, I think it's a much more challenging situation, particularly in Western Europe, for young men to come forward. Those who do are very focused on being the best they can be to serve the Church, which is a great privilege for us as those who accompany them during their journey of formation. I think the Pope has, with his down-to-earth approach, made it something that people see that they could also do, and also his great service to the Church. He has repeated again and again at meetings with priests and seminarians that our lives must simply be about service of the people. And to see him on Sunday ending his pontificate in such an act of service to the Church, to his people, was very inspiring.
Father Mark, thank you very much for joining us on BBC News. So, inspiring is one of the words that Father Mark used there, and very much that's the feeling from people here. Someone earlier said to me that the mood here in the Vatican is one of gratefulness over anything else. I just want to give you a bit of an idea of what's happening over the next few days, because the body of the Pope will continue to lie in state inside St. Peter's Basilica. On Friday evening, the coffin will be closed by the Camera Lungo, and at that point, preparations will really step up for the funeral on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Now, we're expecting leaders from around the world to attend that funeral. President Trump, the UK Prime Minister, the President of Argentina, the President of Poland, to name a few. That funeral will then take the Pope's body from the Basilica here to Santa Maria Maggiore, which we spoke about a little bit earlier, Christian, where he will be laid to rest. Now, one other little bit of insight into the Pope's mind is the coffin that he is going to be buried in. It's a very simple coffin, wood and zinc. Very different to popes gone by. They used to be buried in a nesting coffin, 3 different coffins, cypress, lead and oak. And that is an underlining sign of what the Pope wanted with this funeral and with his papacy, to be taking the papacy back to something a little bit more simple and a little bit more streamlined. So that's what we're going to see on Saturday morning, I think. Back to you, Christian.
Jesuit to the end, very humble, very understated, and that's what people really liked about him, isn't it? Mariam, thank you very much indeed.